Yo, we are here with Eileen and Julian and Max and Kathya. We are all experiencing pregnancy. We actually met back in Playa del Carmen, and we're all experiencing pregnancy at the same time. So we wanted to jump in and shoot this podcast to hopefully give people the insight on how we're feeling as men and how they're feeling as women. And our situations are fairly similar, so it's kind of interesting to get a full take on it. And I feel like we all think the same. So that's why we're here.
Welcome, thanks for doing this with us. And we're 1 week of difference. So, how are you experimenting this pregnancy, you two as a couple, and then you, Eileen, and then Julian, if you can talk about that.
Well, thank you so much for having us. This is so exciting. Yeah, gorgeous. I actually met you. Well, Max, we've met before, quite a long time in Playa, but I met you pregnant at the gym, and it was such an incredible thing to see you training as well. So you gave me a ton of confidence too, because I don't know about you, but the fitness aspect has been the thing that I've struggled most with people having opinions on. So always seeing you crushing it at the gym, it was inspiring for me too. But Julian, how is this pregnancy been? It's been easy, lovely.
Absolutely easy. Like, I don't think my life has changed a lot, much, to be honest. Everything feels the same. She sleeps great, so we're not dealing with, our nights are amazing. So she doesn't feel sick, so we walk, we work out, we're kind of doing everything else we did when she wasn't pregnant. So it hasn't been a big change yet. I imagine with the baby arrived, that'll be when the big change starts. But so far, it's been almost the same as last.
So far, so good. Yeah, we're very, very blessed. I don't know if it's because of how we used to lead our life, the routine we have, our diet, I don't know, but it might be a combination of everything that it's made this pregnancy so good.
I was going to actually say that, like, what do you think it is? Because Kathya, do you wake up in the night, like, just needing to go to the toilet and stuff like that? Because Kathya has that literally 3 times every single night without fail at the same time.
At the same time.
Yes, I do wake up like 3 or 4 times, but I also do drink a lot of water also at night. So Julian is sure that I could like reduce the amount of times that I go, but I just enjoy drinking water a lot at night. And I usually don't wake him up, and if he wakes up, he just takes the time to go to the bathroom too. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, usually before she got pregnant, I used to go to the restroom like 2 to 3 times every night. So now we're just
There's traffic now.
yeah. So
how are you living pregnancy, babe?
I mean, if I'm being totally honest, like, as a man, I personally feel like it's not any different to me. I've had conversations with people, and specifically men, and said, like, we are not dads yet, but they are mums now, because they're physically experiencing and feeling the things. The only thing that we're dealing with is the mum, effectively. And when the baby comes out, that's our first time of meeting the baby. That's our first time of truly bonding with the baby. And as much as I can stick my hand on the stomach, talk to the baby, like, it's not the same. Do you know what I mean? It's like talking through a window that is like opaque, that you can't see through, because I physically cannot experience this baby yet. But for me personally, like, my life hasn't really changed, and like you said, Julian, I know it's going to when the baby's here. I'm really curious as to my thought process when the baby's here, because so many people have said, you will never experience love like this. You'll never understand what it's like. And I'm like, I can't get that. I can't understand what that's going to be like until the baby's here. And I'm just waiting for that, because I really don't know. I'm just kind of just living my life how I always did, kind of like you said, Julian. Like, not much has changed for me, but I know that Kathya struggled a lot with sleeping, I think, and it was like just sleeping, like, were a bit of struggles, and it's interesting that you haven't had any of those problems at all.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think that working out is one of the main factors that has done this pregnancy easy, because I think that we're blessed to say that it has been easy. Of course, it's not like a walk in the park every day, but it's the normal symptoms. Like, we're creating life, so of course that we are going to feel something different.
Yeah.
But how does working out has been for you? I mean,
Well, at the beginning, on my first trimester, I was not allowed to train. So that was hard, actually, like being off the gym for 10 weeks straight. That was the hardest. So in the first trimester, it was believed that it could have been a little bit high risk. I did experience certain things, so they like told me it's best for you to like just take it super chill. and I would just focus on walking. But actually, yeah, that was the hardest because I didn't feel any like difference. Like I was experiencing a little bit of fatigue, but afterwards when they allowed me and they cleared me out for training, then it was more the getting back used to being back at the gym, right? Because 10 weeks of not doing anything was a little bit hard. But thank goodness I have my twin sister Jillian and Julian here that obviously were all coaches, right? So they were like literally dragging me to the gym.
They're like, get your ass to the gym.
Like no more like slacking, let's freaking go. So after that, it was, I think the thing that I struggled the most was just becoming confident again, right? Like after those 10 weeks of like feeling like there could be something wrong or like something could happen. Being at the gym, I was just really scared. Like I would grab the tiniest weight and I would be like, oh, let's do the silliest workout. But Julian, again, he's always been there. Like you can do more, you can carry more, trust your body. And with every week that passed, I feel stronger and stronger and stronger. And I haven't done crazy weights, not at all. Like I do like half of the weights that I was doing, but I just focus on movement, just focus on getting endorphins, feeling good. And Bebecita loves it. Like seriously, I feel like the days that I train, she loves it.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting actually, because that's one of the things that like humans think they shouldn't go through stress. They think that they want to reduce all stresses in their life, but there's such thing as good stress. For example, working out, you put your muscles through stress, they grow, they get bigger. That is, I think, life. You put yourself through stress, you grow, you get bigger, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, whatever. The baby itself, like we were watching a lot of podcasts recently and people talking about how the baby feels the good stress from the workout. So naturally when they come out, they're used to good stress, like an ice bath, good stress, versus like being severely overweight and walking, that's bad stress because that's physically painful. But like you can like artificially give yourself those good stresses, and giving that to the baby, like Kathya, whenever she comes out the gym, Isabella's like literally like she's in there like her stomach's bigger. It's like she's lifted the weights and she's gonna come out with some like biceps or something.
Yeah, I read also that us working out helps the development of their brains. So it's just so many good things that working out gives, but I'm sure that you bump into women, especially women, and it's very sad because I had it, I don't know how many times here. The amount of women that judge us for working out is crazy. It's crazy because they would rather see us drinking soda in the sofa, not moving a finger, and that's safe.
Yeah.
Because us lifting weights is like, how can you be so unconscious? One lady told me in a comment like, you are so selfish. This is not your body anymore. I'm like, excuse me. So what has been like the worst experience or situation that you have come into in the gym or in
comments on social media?
Context, like tell me something about that.
Well, I did a video where I'm just like literally sharing through my experience. I always put like, this is my experience through pregnancy. Like I cannot speak about anybody else, and this is and I think like the most negative thing is whenever I say that I've been having an enjoyable, easy, healthy pregnancy, people take it personally. Like if I was a
they're like, fuck you, you should be hurting, you should be crying. And it's like, whoa.
Exactly. So the fact, like, I have so many people reaching out to me also in the positive side of, wow, I've never seen somebody so loving her body and showing her belly and looking that way, right? And it's like, I'm happy to be that positive side of pregnancy as well, because again, I feel like maybe, we could like attach ourselves or give too much energy into all the negatives, and people kind of relate to that, but not enough maybe people talk about like how wonderful this really is, even though it is changing and it's challenging and there's many ups and downs, but I still wouldn't trade it for anything. Like this has been the most marvelous time of my life.
Amazing.
It's 100% a mindset thing, because like the moments that even Kathya feels herself, like she feels herself complaining because something is going wrong, and I'm like, I get it why you would be, but she'll catch herself and go, but at the end of the day, there's women out there that would say, I would love to have that problem and be hurting because I can have a baby, because they can't.
Exactly.
And I think that doesn't discount the fact that someone's hurting. That doesn't discount the fact that someone's going through something physically difficult. But I think if you can learn to reframe it, it just makes your life easier. And I think, again, that's why, like, me and Katia both talk, and I'm assuming you and Julian are, like, exactly the same, where we think the same.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We think, well, if I put my body through physical stress in the gym, it's going to grow. Like Katia said, a lot of people don't think that, and they think, well, no, now you're getting towards the end. No, you should be sitting down doing nothing. Like, you expect to do nothing ever again, and like right now you're not Katia anymore. You're someone's mum, or you're not Max anymore. You're someone's dad. And we both said, and I said, no, I am not losing, because I'm my first priority always.
Yeah.
Then Katia is my second priority, and the baby has to be the third, because if I don't look after myself, I can't look after Katia. If I can't look after Katia, Katia can't look after the baby, and we all look after each other. But we have to put ourselves first.
Agreed.
And people hate that. They're like, no, you're a bad parent. I'm
Selfish. Yeah.
Maybe I am selfish, but I'm happy, and I feel like that's gonna rub off on our kids, is to how they grow up. I'd rather them see, like, for example, it's very common in Mexico, the machos as the dads, where they're like, my daughter's not going to get a boyfriend till she's 39. And I said, I want our experience of our daughter growing up to see how I treat Katia. How, one, I don't let her walk all over me, because she has the tendency to. She's got that character. But also at the same time that I respect her. And if our daughter sees that, that's what she'll expect as she grows up. And like, I said to Julian just as we were getting started, I'm so excited, because we are 100% in control of how this baby views herself, how she views life. And I'm like, I cannot wait to make her a little savage.
That's freaking incredible. But yeah, what you said, it's so true. Like, you just have to reframe whatever circumstance you're going through. And I don't know about your experience through maybe leading up to pregnancy, but for Julian and I, it wasn't like, oh, from one day to another. We were really like chasing it for a year and a half or something. So like, yeah, it wasn't something that happened like from one moment to another. So I believe also that has made me really appreciate everything. I remember when I actually like saw the pregnancy test, and like after so many that were negative and all that, like finally having that was incredible. And I told Julian, like, I just want all the symptoms. I just want to feel
Make me sick.
And there was none. Like, seriously, I was like, seriously, like, no morning sickness, no crazy fatigue. No. The only thing that I had on the first trimester was the crazy nausea. Like, not the nausea, the saliva, which caused me nausea. But it was just salivating so much. But it was not based on food aversion or anything like that. So again, it was, as you say, like, maybe it's the reframing. Like, this baby has been so wanted and so prayed for so long that yeah, the fact that it's here, like sometimes I look down and I'm like, I can't believe it, like it's happened, like
also it goes so quick. Like, me and Katia were talking about this, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, saying we remember the day because we actually had the total opposite experience to you. So it's interesting because one day, Katia's, I think you missed your period by 3 days.
I never miss my period for a second. Like, you know that as a woman, right before your period, you start feeling like pain or something. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to think about it. And I went like that for like 5 days, and I'm like, okay, I have to tell Max.
No, I think it was 3 days.
Like 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. And I'm like, I have to tell Max or I might be crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm going to tell him. So I woke up and I was like, Max! I never call him Max. And that day I told him, like, I think that I might be pregnant. And he was like, let's go and make the test. I'm like, no.
Yeah, she goes, no, let's just wait. I was like, why?
And I took more time on going to get the test than me being in the thingy and seeing pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, she was
in shock.
Yeah, she was in shock.
Yeah.
She was in shock. But again, it's kind of one of those things. People like, so for us, like you said, you were kind of like you were expecting it. You were trying for it.
Every single month we were like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Yeah.
It's interesting because like people said that to us. They're like, oh, were you expecting to have the baby? And I literally, I suppose I just said it like as raw as possible. I was like, well, when you have sex without protection, then yeah, kind of. I was like, so yeah, we were trying. Yeah, I was like, we were trying, but we weren't trying, if that made sense. Like, it kind of happened, but at the same time, because we've only actually been together for 2
Just
years.
2 years. Yes.
Yes.
And we're married with a kid on the way within 2 years. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Like that.
So, but yeah, it's interesting seeing it. And actually, Julian, I want to get your response on this as well in regards to the mindset of it, because we've had a lot of people saying negative things, or they're just like, yeah, well, it's going to be difficult for you. Yeah, well, forget sleeping forever. Oh, like you're now going to be someone's dad, Julian, or Eileen, you're going to be someone's mum. You're not yourself anymore. And we were talking about like the mindset of like how we reframe it, and it's like so we didn't realize that you guys had been like planning this, and how you can actually sit, and it's like when you work for your muscles, you appreciate it. Like you can't look at someone and go like, oh yeah, I go to the gym. It's like, but you don't look like you go to the gym. You can tell someone goes to the gym from years because of how they look. And that effort that you've put in, you can stand there in the mirror and be proud, or you can just stand there and feel proud of yourself because you know that you haven't cut any corners and you've got the work, you've done the work.
You didn't buy the muscle.
Yeah, you didn't buy the muscle, you didn't do it. And even people that take steroids, it's like they still have to work out. They can't just take steroids and do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So they still have to do the work. And for you to experience that where it's come through, like you've got that deep appreciation because you know, like you said, you prayed for this. You've been expecting this. You've been wanting this. How does your mindset, Julian, like keep you going when things get tough, especially when it's like, oh, no, I'm going to be a dad soon or anything like that? Like when you feel like things are like overwhelming you, when there's a lot going on. Obviously, you work online, you run a business. You guys together, you've got a baby on the way, you've got everything going on. How do you deal with it personally?
So being completely honest, I rarely feel overwhelmed. If there's a problem, I just find a solution to the problem. So if
Very men.
I don't know, if something it's not working in the business, I'm like, what do I need to do to get this problem to go away? And that's kind of like been the mindset. I'm excited about I'm more excited than anything about the baby, and I'm not worried about any of the stuff that people say. I think we're gonna figure it out, and if we have any challenge, we'll find a solution to the challenge and just do the best that we can. So,
Although Max, it was super funny because you commented something about like that idea of I'm not gonna let my daughter date till I don't know what time. Julian is already coaching to break necks in jiu-jitsu. And like, when was it? We were driving to the gym and we were hearing reggaeton music, and it was like Hoy es noche de sexo, everybody knows that song, right? We were like jamming to that song, and I was like, do you know that guy is singing that to somebody's daughter? And Julian was like, I hate this song, I don't want to hear it. Like, we can't listen to reggaeton anymore. So definitely it has changed.
Yeah. So I feel
How we view
that
things.
true. Yeah, that's absolutely right. But I always say, like, I got at least over a decade to think about this. Like, I don't need to worry about this.
Exactly.
So,
that's the interesting thing, because I'm like an unbelievably long-term thinker. Like I'm already thinking when she's 20, and like I sometimes I've got to learn to sit right here, right now as well. Because I think about it like that. I was saying, Julian, that I want our daughter to see how I respect Kathya, but how Kathya also respects me, so that she's got a baseline of when she grows up what to expect from men. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking, like, I can't wait to go on like daddy-daughter dates with my daughter to show her this is how a man should treat you. And if anyone gives you a tiny bit less than this, they can walk off. Like they can go, and you can tell them to fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like I want her to grow up with such. I mean, she's going to be a stubborn little one, I think, because she's stubborn. I'm stubborn, so we're in for a stubborn little girl, I think. But we're like, same as you guys. We're just so excited. How are you guys? I suppose looking forward to, also you guys work from home, you work online, you guys work together as well, right? You work in the business together. So we're in the same situation. And I speak to a lot of people, and people say, yeah, well, it's difficult, like being together. And I'm like, but we find it very easy to be together, work together, live together. Like we spend our time together.
Yeah.
We're going to be in the house with this baby all the time. And it's not as common, now it's more common than it ever used to be. But like, I want to be there virtually every single day of my daughter's life. Do you know what I mean? And we're going to have that. And that's why having a business was so important for us online, so that we can do that. how are you guys like looking forward to that, and how are you adapting to the schedules? Like, I'll take sales calls with the baby on me, and I'll go, you don't pay for something, this baby's gonna starve, so that's gonna be on your conscience.
Well, we are gonna do a little bit of roles, like at least here, like we do love that. Like I am gonna definitely take a little bit of time off from coaching, at least. Like I do a lot of mindset calls, and I do a lot of one-on-one calls with clients. So at least for the first 1 or 2 months till I understand how life is gonna be, I'm definitely stepping away, and I'm super thankful that Julian was actually the one that thought about it, right? Because like, okay, when baby comes, what are you gonna do, right? So I'm super thankful that I'm able to do that, and I'm just, if I wanna completely be a stay-home mom, I can, because I know that again, it's not the privilege that maybe other people have. But yeah, I'm super thankful that we work online. Most of our clients are super like hoping and expecting to see Bebecita also, right? Like it's such a part of Jack Vegans already. So in that sense, like, yeah, we're just gonna obviously take it day by day, but I'm so happy. His parents are planning on moving to Playa. My mom lives very close by. My twin sister Julian is really close. So I really feel like I have my little tribe like surrounding me. So yeah, I'm somebody that I'm good at asking for help if needed. So definitely excited.
She's not.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
She's not good at asking for help.
I'm learning.
She's like, I could do this on my own. I'm like, babe, just let me carry the fucking bags. I have to snatch them off of her.
Yeah, I think that we've kind of like established some roles, and I think we're very happy with that. I, for example, am making myself a room here to sleep if I can't sleep upstairs. We're like, if I'm going to be working and providing, then you're going to be taking care of the baby. So we got those roles, and we're cool with that. And as far as help, we got the parents on both sides that are coming to help. From our parents, the first round daughters, so they're going to be incredibly.
Yeah,
they're going to be over the moon to just help out with whatever they can help out. And yeah, just get help for the house, have someone to clean, so she can focus more time on the baby. Those are the main things.
Yeah.
No, that's super cool. That's super cool.
No, we're actually in a slightly different situation to that, because my family lives in the UK. Like they want to spend more time in Mexico. They're gonna come out, but it's still a little bit difficult for them. Because the flight's like super far as well. So like my family, they're like planning times to come out at the moment, and then my mum and stepdad, they were like, we kind of want to come to Mexico now. But we live near Katya's aunt, her brother, one of her brothers, our sister-in-law, and our niece currently. They're super excited as well. But yeah, we're just looking forward to the whole process, and it's super cool to see other people that are actually, I suppose, looking forward to it, because there's a lot of people that they're like, oh yeah, we're having a baby, but it's kind of like, it wasn't like you said, prayed for. Like every morning I'm sitting there like meditating on like how grateful I am for Katya, for this baby coming in. Like it's just such an exciting thing, and I don't know, it's just one of those things that I'm just personally super excited for, and it's so cool to see other people so excited for it, because there is a lot of people that just sit there and just they try and say all the
negative
all the bad things.
We're like, don't come and we don't care about your experience. Like, I don't. That's not gonna be my life. They're like, you see how you're gonna get fat when you get. It's like, no, I'm not gonna get fat. We can bet all the money you want to that. It's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
Just wait.
Just wait, and you'll see. Like, our baby's gonna be fit, and we're not gonna get fat, right?
For sure.
Yeah, we have.
And I think that's crazy how each pregnancy, even in the same mom, each pregnancy is super different. And even though our situation is the same, we're pregnant 1 week of difference, the difference between us as couples are crazy. And I'm sure that we're going to do amazing, because I've talked to you, Eileen. It's very good to talk with someone that is not complaining all the time. And we're like, yeah, it hurts, but we're going to be okay. We're almost there. And as you said, like a lot of people tries or enjoys to tell, maybe not from a bad like place, but they enjoy telling the most horrible and crazy and scary stories. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I didn't even have that in my mind. Why are you telling me that? But we are trying to be very careful with the people that we surrounded by, because we don't want bad energy, bad comments, bad things in our head. And for example, it's cool to hear that you're going to have your little like context of people that is going to help you. From the other side, we are trying to make the first month alone. We don't know how it's going to happen. We want to do it. Maybe we're being very naive, or maybe not. And maybe we're just going to have fun. But yeah, it's like it's very cool to see how people is excited about this, because it's an amazing experience. It doesn't have to be about experience. You're having a natural birth, right?
That's the idea. Yes.
And you are going to make it because you are taking care of yourself. You two are doing everything that is necessary. I'm having a C-section, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be less or worse, or it's just different experience. And I have a question for you guys. Max was always saying that all that he knew about pregnancy is that they were crazy.
She was crazy before pregnancy, not so much now.
The hormones, or what did you say?
Yeah, that women, for Max, a pregnant woman, was always crazy.
Yeah, I assumed they were going to be crazy. I assumed they were going to literally attack me. Like, I was scared. I was scared of Kathya getting pregnant initially. But ever since she got pregnant, like, I relate this to 50% my DNA. That's why she's so calm. But, like, ever since I heard that, I was, like, kind of freaking out a bit. But then, honestly, I've never seen her so calm in her life.
I think it's been the same level of craziness as before.
Yeah, it's Mexican.
Peaks and valleys, you know, but like overall the same, with the same similar peaks and valleys.
Not more, which is great.
It's just in the same level.
Similar level.
That's really interesting, because like I said, like, I had such a, because that's all I'd ever heard. I'd only ever heard that. I'd only ever heard, like, oh, well, when I was pregnant, oh, you should have seen me. I used to bite your dad's head off, or like people would say that, like friends, parents would say that, and I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna have to be physically and mentally. I'm gonna have to be physically strong and mentally strong for this. But like genuinely, like we did a video about it, and it got a lot of attention because it was that, like, the 50% of the DNA. Like, I don't actually know the science behind it, but I was like, I'm taking that 50% because I'm a super calm person. But no, like, yeah, if I'm being honest, like I thought it was gonna be far worse. Like experience for Kathya specifically, but Julian, you need to try this as well. The other day we put what is it? What do you call it? Plastic saran wrap around my stomach with a watermelon of 9 kilos, and then 2 melons of like 1.5 kilos each. So I had like 13 extra kilos. And I tried working out with that, and it's difficult, man. It's difficult.
Well, he always tells me that. Like, he's done crazy bulks where he gains like 30 pounds. It's like, I know what you mean. It's like, no, you don't.
I was like, fun of her. I was like, I know exactly what you feel like. Like that time when I was like 20 pounds heavier. You got this.
That's when I want to rip his head off. Like, when he's like that, it's like, no, it's not the same.
Although I will say, because then I was just showing Kathya, I was like, I'm not a complainer. So I had this on, and like I was trying to run on the treadmill. We were trying to do everything, and then like, I realized I was walking. I was just bumping into things. I was like, thank God I'm not pregnant, because this baby would have brain damage before he came out. I've been bumping into the walls. I was like, I couldn't handle it. But out of all of it, because I actually don't mind having the extra weight. I said to Kathya, the extra weight didn't bother me. It's the lack of breathing, which is slightly different because the watermelon's on the outside, but I can still imagine that you guys, that lack of breathing is difficult. Have you ever had like a lack of breath at any time?
Yeah, I do experience, especially when I eat, I can't eat large meals anymore. And if I'm doing a mindset call, I can see myself feeling winded if I'm talking for long periods of time, right? But again, I just laugh it off. It's like, it's part of, like, it's wonderful to see like where my intestines and everything is. Like, it's fascinating to observe like how our bodies change, and our poor bladder is being squished.
Oh my God, yeah.
I can only imagine. Kathya she'll like, Isabella, what the fuck? What's going on? I thought I needed to pee like 10 liters, but I didn't even need to pee. You're just standing on my bladder. Why?
Literally.
Like, I can just imagine. I can imagine. What is, for you guys individually, what is the most exciting part about being a parent for you?
Well, I've said it, I think I said it in my video before, like, one of the things that I'm most excited is to see Julian become a parent. Like, I just, like, can't wait. I always tell him, right, like, what are you gonna do when your baby grabs you in the face and tells you, I love you, daddy? Like, he's gonna melt. Because again, like I see these like maybe or people, the world in general might see this rougher exterior of Julian, but I know there's like that very emotional side too. So I know that our bebecita will take it out from him every single day if she wants to. So I'm excited for that. But obviously, like everything, like I'm just excited to. I see videos online of babies doing the famous baby crunch where they're like all crunched up and they're like, I'm so excited to do that. Like everything. So I'm excited to see my sister catching bebecita because Gigi's gonna be our birthing partner as well, and she wants to be the one catching baby at birth. So, oh yeah, Julian.
You're like, no, she really wants to do it.
Everyone's just washed up and looking beautiful.
Yeah, I hope Julian is not like in the corner passed out. But Julian is right there wanting to do literally everything for birth. So like those are the things that I'm really looking forward. Like I try to stay as present as possible. I know there's gonna be a gazillion moments, but yeah, like just birthing our babies, like it's gonna be like the most magical thing.
No, of course. How about yourself, Julian?
Yeah, I think like one specific thing it's hard to pinpoint. I'm just because I don't even know how it feels like. I can tell you whatever. I can tell you what I think it is, but until I experience it, I'm not gonna know what it is. So I'm just excited to meet the baby and start.
That's it, man. I'm the
every
same.
year
I'm
will
like,
be a new, like every day is gonna be a new story or something.
A new experience.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy because we've seen like a lot of Katya's friends recently have had babies, and we've seen like one of them specifically like I've met as well. And I said this is the first baby I've ever held in my life. I was like, so I've never held a baby in my life when Katya was pregnant.
Like practice.
Yeah, I was like, can I practice with your one? I was like, can I borrow it? But like watching how quickly they actually grow, like I actually didn't, like it sounds silly, but I never really thought about it, I suppose. I didn't realize how quick a baby actually grows. Like they grow fast.
From weeks.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, this baby's big now. This is like nearly able to walk. I was like, I am so excited for all of that. I think it's like, you're right, Julian. When I think about it, I can't, like so many people have said you're gonna melt, you're gonna be an absolute like melt with it, but especially with a daughter, I think you're just gonna, like you said, I love you, Daddy. You're gonna be like, no, please, no, never again, never say that again. Like you're gonna be absolutely melted. And like so we're in a slightly different situation where I don't know, like Katya said, obviously it's gonna be a C-section, so I'm gonna hopefully, I'll be there as well. And like maybe cut the cord or something like that. But like Katya said, she was like, just don't pass out. I was like, I've got this. But it's funny because I did a hypnosis on Katya the other day to like, because she was a bit like worried, like just like freaking out a little bit with it. And I was like, right.
I like hospitals.
Yeah, I was like, we'll just do a hypnosis with you so I can just like put you into a nice trance just so you feel relaxed. I was like, that's a super cool benefit of being a hypnotist. It's like the past work like has benefited me massively. But no, we're the same as you
Have
guys.
you ever
We're just
seen
so
footage of C-sections?
Nope.
Oh my god, I recommend you do it because my dad.
Yeah, probably a good
my
idea,
dad
actually.
saw us my twin sister and I being born, and he always tells this story. Like he was almost operating himself and helping the doctor, and everything was okay. But the moment we came out and he saw us another color, he was almost on the floor, right? And that's really normal. Like it's normal to see babies that are like a pale color, or like they look a little bit like even purple or stuff like that. But after obviously clean them up and skin to skin, they become a little bit more obviously pinkish, right? So just be ready for that. Like I would advise to watch.
not bad idea.
What are you all up for?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that after. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I never thought. I suppose I'm one of those people, Julian. I like the way you think because it's like, well, I'll cross that bridge when we get there. If there's a problem,
That's what I told her. She's like, go watch videos. I was like, no, I'll just wait until that day. Like I don't need to see videos. It's like,
if I pass out, I pass out.
Come out and somehow I'll know what to do, right? Like back in the day, there was no YouTube. Like people didn't see videos. Right? So.
Not wrong. Yeah, I just like that mindset. I think that is a very masculine, get it done mindset. Because a lot of people, they say to me, they're like, well, but have you thought about this? And I'm like, well, no. I was like, the baby's like this is like 6 months pregnant. They're like, but have you thought about this? I'm like, no. Like, why would I?
Yeah.
Because I've still got at least another 5 months until the baby's
Yeah.
out. So why would I think about that? And I like that mindset of just like, okay, now we're at this situation. Let's solve this problem. Because again, it may not even be a problem. So I just don't like wasting my time thinking about it if it's not even going to be a problem. Because for all we know, I could get there and I could go, oh, this is awesome. Huh.
I can be a surgeon now.
And you're ready for
Maybe.
number 2.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
How many kids do you guys want? Have you got a number in mind or anything like that?
As many as we can.
Which again, that's another thing. Like when we talk with parents, it's crazy how we always hear like just one, right? And that always also fascinating. Like it's like yeah, like people seem to be terrorized by having bigger families now. And Julian and I want as many as we can, 100%.
I love that.
At least
that.
4. That would be a good number, I think.
Oh, is that our number?
Okay.
Yeah.
We're saying about 3 or 4 ourselves, and the amount of people that have said to us, they're like, yeah, we'll wait after 1. I was like, watch us have a second one.
Exactly.
It's happening.
Yeah, I was like, watch us work, watch us work out, watch us have babies,
And be happy.
and be happy, and be healthy. Like, just watch.
And then pay me money to teach you how to do it.
Exactly. It's interesting.
And I just want to ask you, how does the pregnancy has how does the pregnancy has been for your relationship? Has it make you closer? Have you felt like something weird? How have you been living this from the relationship point of view?
It's been great. I think I'm a little softer, you can say, maybe. It's made me a little soft.
Yes.
Looks like a Hulk on the outside, but on the inside.
It's been freaking incredible. And obviously you guys know because we talk regularly. February was a hard month for us because Julian had to be in the hospital, and that was super hard. But again, like things that a lot of people could be perceived as, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that you're going through this while being pregnant and all that. It's like, well, you can't fight reality, right? This is what's happening, but it's brought us so much closer, and it's just again like how beautiful to see how close we are and how much we can completely depend on each other and give in and surrender to anything, right? So again, it's
I love that.
this whole pregnancy has shown me how strong we are and how like solid we are. Like we could navigate through anything.
Let's go.
That's amazing.
Let's go. I
Yeah,
love
she
that.
helped me out
Because
so
they're-
much in
they're-
that month. And she was like big belly. And she was like bringing
I
me
can
food,
imagine.
like helping me go shower. So it was amazing.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
when you mentioned one of the things that I like, the hardest things or comments that people do. That was another thing that I struggled a lot the most, right? Like people would tell me, Eileen, you have to take care of yourself. Do not stress yourself. When Julian was on the hospital, it's like, how am I not gonna have some kind of
Stress,
stress? Like
yeah.
that's crazy, right? But they would always be like, for baby, it's bad for baby. It's like, oh my god, it's like again they forget about the
And then you start
individual, the
freaking out of
person,
it.
right? It's like, no, like you're allowed to have emotions as a mom as well, even if you're pregnant. I don't think like again we're attached with so much fear. Kathya, I'm so happy that I have you because sometimes like my fingers hurt and I text you and I'm like, do you have the same thing? And you're like, yeah, I feel like they're broken. It's like, okay, I'm not crazy, right? So better than
And then me and Julian are just like,
better than going to Dr. Google or having other people like talking horrible things, right? Like but again, allowing ourselves to have this human experience. There's gonna be moments where you're gonna be stressed. There's gonna be moments where you're gonna feel some anxiety. There's gonna be moments where you're gonna feel like, am I doing things right? And it's completely okay. And I don't think like baby is feeling every single thing and internalizing it and now gonna be effed up for the rest of your life, right? It's like it's wild. But again, that was one of the comments that
Yeah, she got.
whenever people were like, for baby, like whatever they did, like, but for it's like, wow, they don't think I already thought about that. The mother, like, oh, same with the training, right? Like, are you sure you should be doing that because babies? Like, don't you think I already researched and made sure that
Of
this is
course.
safe? Like, yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you said, you like dropped your weights, like Kathya well, actually, if anything, Kathya, like I had to be like, babe, maybe like don't be hard on yourself if you drop the weights, like it's okay. I was like, it's okay. But like there was some ladies in the gym one day that literally like looked over at what did they say? They said something.
They were like, oh, she's unconscious, and then they get angry when they lose the baby, and we're like,
Yeah.
excuse me. I was like, well, I'm going to take it from the person that is coming.
exactly.
I'm not going to be offended by that. But as you said, of course, and I've been very clear with that. I don't recommend to everyone to work out as we work out, because also we work out from before.
Exactly.
So if you will have a routine, if your doctor says no because it's high risk, of course not. But I really don't think that being just sitting and not moving, for me, that makes me crazy. It makes me in a bad mood. My back hurts.
How's that good? Like, it doesn't make any sense. We went to a birthing class.
Oh.
Eileen was the only pregnant woman in that class that worked out. The other women couldn't even get up from the couch. It was like, how is that good? They couldn't, like, they were just, they needed help to stand up. And she was
crazy.
like doing a handstand and out, like.
I was teaching them how to do an
I was like,
inversion.
yo, this is how I do an inversion. She's like a handstand. And the woman like, I can't even get up from the couch. How is that good? It doesn't make any sense.
That's what we were talking about. I think when you just stepped out, Julie, we were talking about how like it's common for a woman or for a lot of women to sit on the couch, drink soda, eat like shit, and be like, oh, but I'm pregnant.
And that's
Versus,
safe.
yeah, and that's safe. And it's actually like all these like toxic chemicals going into the body, and it's such a common thing. Whereas, like I said, it's, I suppose, I mean, you guys would have had this when going vegan. Like, it was all, but where are you going to get your protein from? I was like, oh, come on. Like, there's people, like, come on. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's such a silly statement. But people, because their normal is here, as soon as you step outside that
It's just a
normal,
reason to fall back
Yeah.
into.
they really don't understand it, and they're like, but what are you gonna do? I was like, you didn't do this. You didn't say this when I was like smoking all the time. You didn't say how are you gonna live a healthy life when you were smoking, like, do you know what I mean?
drinking.
Or when you were drinking all the time. It's such a common thing. But then doing something that's actually good, they're like, yeah, but what if something bad happens? It's like, but why would you even consider that? Like, but it's interesting for me to see these people's mindsets, and I'm like, how does that even equate or cross your mind in any way when working out is good for the body? I agree that maybe running on a treadmill probably isn't great. I tried it with the watermelon. Don't recommend it. I've got a great video coming soon. I nearly fell off the treadmill. But I see a lot of people, and like I said, I'm just really happy and inspired again to see other people that think like us, because partly we're going into this and we're like, maybe we're being naive, but I feel like this is going to be not as difficult as everyone says. I'm not saying we're not going to have sleepless nights. I'm not saying it's not going to be like, it's not going to be a walk in the park. Yes, we might get frustrated. Yes, whatever. But I really feel like with the mindset that I say I'm lucky in the position, but I'm not lucky because I built it, and same with Kathya and same with you guys. Like, you've built your life. Like, you're not lucky. You're not lucky to be in the place that you're in. You're not lucky. Like, you've built it in a way, you've constructed it in a way that puts you in this position. And that is why you can sit there and go, well, I'm just excited for this, because like you're just in a good mind frame around it. Like, is there anything that you guys specifically do for that? Like, meditation is a non-negotiable for me. Is there anything that you guys have, like, as well as working out, that helps keep you just in that good frame of mind all the time?
You can start.
Well, Julian has an amazing bed routine and morning routine, which I'm so thankful for, because I do not have one. So if it wasn't for him, I would go to bed super late and most likely wake up super late as well. So he always
There's nice people.
he always like make sure that we're using our blue blocker glasses and like all of these things. We go to bed really early. We listen to audiobooks. Like the last thing that we're listening at night is things that are really positive. First thing in the morning, he wakes up at around 5:30. He puts an audiobook. Am I listening fully? Maybe not, but
I'll just keep going in there somehow.
exactly. So that for me, like, that morning routine is incredible. We also do a lot of grounding. Again, practices that if Julian was not here, I most likely would not do as often, but I do see the benefit every time that we go walk to the beach. Now it's a little bit harder for me. Sometimes I don't want to do it, but he insists, and every time that I go and come back, I feel replenished, feel so good. It is a luxury for us, and like, it's beautiful that we're able to touch the sea every single morning. So yeah, that's basically what we do. Like, we don't touch our phones really early. We make sure that we first listen to something positive. He does meditation. I don't personally.
Not every day, but I try.
Yeah, and we walk and ground and see the sun. At least in sunrise, and if we can, do sunset as well.
That's awesome, because it's just natural things, and that's what we're made for and we're built for. And 100%, like, I think I'm the same there. Katya's definitely the night one. I think I've slipped into her routine a bit. We work more at night now, but I just kind of accept it. I'm just like, look, if that means we work at night and the baby's here, like, I'll dive into any routine that it takes me. I'm quite adaptable with that. But I like that. I like the grounding, and we definitely see the benefit of that. And sometimes if I can see Katya's getting a bit agitated, all right, we need to hit the gym and you need to go and touch some grass. so I'll drag her out there to some grass. But
how about you, Julian? What do you do to keep yourself in that
To
mindset?
stay positive, I think having goals and aspirations that you want to achieve. I think that's important, because then you have things you're wanting to achieve. Having mentors in my life has been very, very influential, as helped me achieve everything that we've achieved. So mentors have been incredible, and the practices that we talked about, and also obviously like physical activity. I think that's one of the most underrated things that any person can do, at least for me, because I started doing jiu-jitsu this year.
interesting.
I did a little bit of martial arts last year. I did Muay Thai, but I kind of didn't like coming home with a headache after sparring. I was going with this 20-year-old kids that wanted to become professionals, and they had no mercy because they saw me with muscles, and I gotta fuck up this guy. I was like, bro, I still feel pain in my head. So I stopped doing Muay Thai and I went into Jiu-Jitsu, and it's been great, because after you go in Jiu-Jitsu or any martial art, first you have really nothing left to get angry about. Like, whatever you face in your day-to-day, you have no energy to get angry for it, because everything you left it on the mat. It's also been very humbling experience, because you think you're this big guy, and then you go and you fight out a 60-kilo guy that's 30 kilos less than you, and then he kicks your ass. So that's also very humbling. So I think those two things, and also obviously the improvement, you go every day and you see yourself get better. It has a lot of similarities to everything you do in life. So I think that's been one of the biggest things that I've started doing this year, the martial art practice.
That's super cool.
That's
and she
amazing.
sees it changing me too.
Yeah, my God.
Yeah.
And that's when we go back to physical activity, because I was telling Max, of course that I can understand the people that says that pregnancy and birth is the worst, because for 9 months and all of their life they never move, and they go from nothing to a stress of a birth and then a post-birth. So of course that they're going to feel awful because they're weak mentally and physically, and that's their experience. But it's amazing to, again, as we said in the gym, Eileen, also, it's super inspiring to see you, because when I don't want to work out, I see your videos and I'm like, I can do it. I can do it.
You're like, this bitch.
At least 30 minutes, 40 minutes, not every day, as we were saying, but we are doing it, and I'm very proud of us, because we're almost there, and we keep working out, so we are sticking to our word, and that's amazing.
Has your gym schedule adapted at all, Julian, specifically, or have you sort of kept it going? Because Eileen, I believe I'm right in saying that you've had you haven't been going every single day, right?
Yeah, no, this week, now I go with him, and we have shorter routines, but it's perfect.
Right.
I'm there for 20, 30 minutes. But now working with him, he's been pushing me a little bit more, honestly. He's only doing some squats,
And I was
and
like,
he
you
was...
can't handle at least more than that. That's too easy.
Put another 10 pounds on either side.
So that's been really cool. Because before I used to go walking.
We go separate.
Yeah, exactly.
We go together.
So again, I would have longer routines with a lot of exercises, which make me feel great too. But now that I'm going with you, it's shorter workouts, but very, very precise. And he's there like a hawk, making sure that I'm doing it.
So is that what you do specifically, Julian? You for yourself as well? You do shorter routines, but like all like packed into a short period of time?
Well, not specifically. Given that I'm still healing the infection that I had,
Ah, shit,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
really
yeah.
train that hard because I can't sweat. So I'm kind
Got
of
you.
adjusting things for
Oh my
now.
God, Playa.
But again, that was
Yeah,
another thing that was
yeah.
fascinating, right? Like not the first, we came back home from the hospital. The doctor told him like, no working out, please, blah, blah, blah.
That's one day.
He was one day going crazy. And the next day, he's like, I need to go to the gym, even if it's just to do a few
Just to
things.
turn up.
And then he
Yeah.
never stopped going like after that. So and a lot of people are like, oh my God, that's crazy. But is it? Like, that's just our normal. Like, what's crazy
Uh-huh.
is just to sit and do nothing,
nothing.
and feel bad about yourself, right? If there, he's very, again, conscious about his injury, and he makes sure to completely change his workout to fit that. But overall, like, doctors now are so surprised of how well he's healing, and people are like, how are you looking more jacked than before, like, being injured? It's like, how is this happening? Well, yeah, take care of your nutrition, continue walking, and train.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised with that as well. Like, I also believe in, like we said this to Katya, I said, you look after yourself. I was like, maybe you eat too many candies sometimes. I was like, you need to work on that. But you look after yourself other than that. So I believe that you're going to heal very quickly. And again, it's not a surprise that you're able to heal quickly because you're doing the right things. And again, people, because it's out of the normal, because it's actually difficult, and humans default is to go to suffering, but in the easiest way of suffering, which is, if I do what is easy today, my life will be difficult. Versus like you said, like those 10 weeks off the gym must have been difficult for you, because when we first moved to Michoacan, we had about 10 or so weeks off the gym, maybe 12 or something like that. I
we
lost
were
everything.
awful.
I became skinny fat, and I was so like, what the fuck is that? I was like, I was in good shape. I was really like disappointed in myself. But again, rather than sit there and be disappointed, it was like, okay, get back to work. And within a space of a year, like, I've got it all back and then some. And an interesting one. So this is for you, Julian. A lot of people have said that it's not uncommon for the man to gain what they call a baby fat to like prepare for the baby as well. I was like, have you experienced any of that yourself?
No, bro.
He's made like a
was
cheese
like-
grater.
I think those are the stupid, like, honestly, the silliest things, like, that are silliest things. Like,
Yeah.
you're having a baby now, you have an excuse to get fat, so that's why you tell me. Now you're eating
True.
because you want to get, that's your excuse to eat more and get fat.
True. Yeah. And they're the things, again, I love hearing people's opinions on those, that have an opinion on those, because I'm like, is that a truth? Like, or is it just, like you say, just an excuse to say, well, no, yeah, it's just baby fat. 'Cause people have said to Katya before, yeah, well, you're gonna struggle to lose the baby fat. I'm like, but you're not. I was like, you're not. Your stomach's in, like, you've got a strong core, therefore your muscles are stronger, therefore they're just gonna contract easier than someone who doesn't have that.
I guess the way that I think about life is that probably 99% of the human beings that live on Earth don't have the life that I would like to have. So I think that 99% of the things that we hear is just things we shouldn't hear. It's like, you hear it, but you ignore it. And then you have, the other 1% that you kind of like look up to. You're like, this is the people that I can learn from, that have lives that I, would like to aspire to. And then you kind of like listen to, not to everything they say, but you can pick up, the things that resonate with you.
Yeah, I like that. You pick and choose, and you create. Well, you create your own
Exactly.
unique
You create
life
your own
rather
reality
than.
based on that.
Like it's a few cool things. Like, I'm really excited for the toddler stage, because I'm like, I wanna teach them, like, that they can have whatever they want, but not just like given. Not like, oh yeah, you can have it. It's like, well, what are you gonna do to get that? It's like, I want this toy. Okay, you can have it, but what are you gonna do to get that? And just like encourage that, like, go getter, problem solver mentality, so that the baby growing, as they grow up, it's like they don't depend on anything or anyone. They're like, well, I want this. How am I going to get it? Versus, no, we can't afford that. Like, growing up is very common to hear, we can't afford that. Whereas now it's like, well, yeah, of course.
You have everything you
want this.
You can get whatever you want.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that stage of it. Like, I'm not wishing away the baby phase at all. But like, I don't know. I'm like that. It's like the goals for me are just most importantly, seeing these babies happy. Do you know what I mean? I just want to see them smiling and just laughing as much as they can, and actually experiencing true childhood, and learn through rolling around in the mud, a face full of sand, like literally learning and experiencing in such an authentic and natural way that they just grow up to be just amazing human beings. And I'm so excited to be like the head of that experience. And we're creating a little army, I think, like you guys as well. We want to create a little army, like let's create an army of savages.
There's actually a book that I'm going to recommend. There's a podcast called How to Take Over the World. Then he has an episode about this guy. I think he was either Ukrainian or from Poland. I can't remember. And he basically, he had 3 daughters, and he decided that he wanted to raise like geniuses. So top performers in the field. Like he picked chess. So he created a system to make them the best at that skill. And all 3 daughters became like grandmasters like by age 12 or 11 or something. Wow. And I think like 2 of them ended up winning like world championships like a couple of years later. So he has a framework to raise your kids like from 3 years old onwards. I haven't read the book yet, but it's definitely something that I'm going to check out.
What's it called?
How to Raise a Genius.
Oh, How to Raise a Genius. Oh, okay.
You can Google it and you'll find a free PDF. It's on Google, and I think it gives you like a framework of how to raise your kids to be really, really smart.
That's amazing. Well, and I know that our babies are going to see workout as their normal life, and they are going to enjoy it. They are not going to suffer from that, and they will have all the benefits that it comes from that. So thank you so much, guys, for your time.
Kathya, I wanted to ask you something, because you have a baby girl too. Do you get like people guessing like is it a boy or a girl depending on this? Because again, that's another myth, right? Like depending on how your belly is or how much you're suffering or how do baby guess? Do people guess that you're having a girl or?
It was crazy because when we thought that it was going to be a boy and the doctor told me that it was going to be a boy, one of my friends, she just hugged me and she was like, it's going to be a girl. I'm like, no. And then after I was like, it's going to be a boy. Are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I think so. And then another mom of my friends literally just say hello and she was like, you're having a baby girl. I'm like, why?
And after we knew it was a boy, so we were like sharp, like get your opinions away from us. And then we're like, oh shit, it is a girl.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if you heard, you know the line that you like.
Yeah.
I saw something that if you have it below, it was a girl, but then if you have it on top, it was a boy. And I start having a little bit the one on top, and we're like, oh, so now it's a boy? It's just like crazy. But again, I think that pregnancy is different in each woman. But I think that the belly, well, I don't know, but I think that the bellies of girl are more like, I don't know.
If we could have $1 for every time people tell us it's a boy based on just like, oh, but you only have the belly.
No,
Yeah.
It hasn't been.
Oh my God, baby.
Even if it's 100 times, it's $100.
Okay.
We'd be able to get a good amount of shopping.
Maybe 1 Bitcoin for every time
Okay,
you
one Bitcoin.
Yeah, 1 Bitcoin would be a millionaire.
Yeah, and that's because they told me also like you're not getting wife. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know. Also, they told me you are too little, but the reality is the babies are and I know that your baby is also perfectly fine, but people expect to see us like that, and it's not going to happen because we're working out. We are not getting like fat. We're just working the body, and the baby's growing. But yeah, sometimes people be like, oh, your belly is too little. I'm like, I didn't ask.
But it's crazy how bad reputation like baby girl pregnancies have. Like I've heard so many things. Like one, exactly.
Wow.
Like the girls, you are super wide and it's super uncomfortable. You have all the symptoms. Another one is they steal your beauty. Like literally, that's one of the things. So
She's glowing. She's an absolute princess, this woman.
Yeah, and I know that for you is the same because the hair has never been so amazing.
exactly, nails. So people think it's a boy because you are having the glow, you're having like a good pregnancy, it's only the belly, you haven't like gained a ton of weight. It must be a boy. So yeah, we're here to break that too. Like girl pregnancies are beautiful too.
Yeah, and it depends on us 100%. And a lot of my friends are like, no, it's because you are going to see that you are going to hate your body after. I'm like, I don't hate my body. I love my body now, and I'm not going to hate it after. Like, of course, that I'm seeing a belly, but I'm very grateful for that belly. I don't feel deformed or obese or.
That's coming
I
from
just
people who
don't-
probably
yeah.
hate their own body. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's just a
Exactly. And it's
reflection,
always
that's
that. And
it.
it's,
Just because you hate your body doesn't mean that.
Doesn't mean that I'm going to.
and yeah, you said it perfect, Julian, where people they project what they are feeling, I think, a lot of the time. And unfortunately, it's like a lot of the time they're not even doing it from a bad place. They're just doing it because it was their experience,
their
and they don't know
experience.
anything different. It's like if someone started swearing at you in, I don't know, Dutch, you'd go, what? Like, you wouldn't understand it. And like, I suppose it's that if you don't let those opinions actually affect you, and you just go, well, yeah, okay, maybe I'm naive to think that this is gonna be like actually an enjoyable experience.
It's
but
going to
I
be.
think it will be. I really think it will be, and I'm so happy, and I sit there and I'm grateful that I think that way, and I imagine you guys can too. I know Kathya
that
does.
the main thing is that people are always fighting change, right? People are always striving to
Sure.
stay the same, but that's crazy. Like, everything in life is changing. We are evolving, seeking beings. We are always expanding and changing, right? So when people are always like, oh, but my body is not the same, it doesn't need to be. Like, it shouldn't be. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna change through age, you're gonna change through every stage that you are, through pregnancy, menopause, like, you name it. It's okay, but I hope that people learn to embrace that change is not something bad. Change is actually the only thing that we can have certain, right,
Guarantee.
and count on, right?
Yeah.
So change is beautiful when you embrace it. Change is beautiful when you take it as an opportunity, when you rephrase, and actually look forward for it, right? But it's stagnation that we fear the most. And yeah, it's crazy how people want to stay the same by injecting themselves with so many things in order to stay 20 forever and look certain ways. It's like, no, like, you're meant to wrinkle, you're meant to change, you're meant to grow, and it can be a beautiful thing as well, right? But you just gotta embrace it.
It's that.
And at the same time, everything is our responsibility for good and for bad. But sometimes we don't want to accept that we are sick because of something that we did right. That we're growing in a bad way because our habits are not very good habits. So it's like everything is up to us. And someone very close told me, like, forget about bikinis after you have a baby. I'm like, oh, watch me. So,
We'll just go. We'll come and let our babies be
we're-
friends.
We're going to play after the baby's out, and I can't wait to meet your baby girl, and I can't wait to share with you guys our experience. And yeah, we're just very excited.
We'll have to do a podcast when the baby's out.
All of us, like, here.
yeah, literally. Just,
It's gonna be awesome.
I love conversations like this because it fills me with even more excitement, because it's just like there's more people that just think great and that are great. Do you know what I mean? And I know that you two are going to be great parents. Like, I don't know you guys super well, but from what I know about you guys,
You can feel
I
it.
can just tell that you guys are going to be super great parents. And like, I'm so grateful that Kathya is the mum of my kid, because I know that she's going to be a great mum. And I said, I like that, and she has the same for me, and I'm just so grateful to be in a relationship like that, and I can see it with you guys. You guys inspire me. You guys are amazing. Like I said, I'm so excited to meet your baby as well, and yeah, we're just so grateful. We're just so grateful, just excited to be on this experience together, because it's such a random thing. When we found out you guys are pregnant, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like that's so cool. And a week's difference. They could be born on the same day for all we
I
know.
know.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe. That would be awesome.
Appreciate both you guys. And if anyone watching this podcast wants to follow you guys, obviously Jacked Vegans online. Where can people find you? How can they get in touch with you and work with you guys to become great people, great parents, and look great as well?
Well, Jack Vegans, you can follow all of our handles, like individual, Julian Hierro, on Pico. They're all linked in Jack Vegans account. And yeah, we're here to support anybody that is looking to transform their bodies, their minds, and see community.
Eileen has coached two women in the community that also got pregnant at a very similar time, and just coach them through the pregnancy, and they're also staying fit, lifting weights, in a really good mindset. So
That's awesome. Let's get it then. That's what we expect. We expect to see the Jack Vegans coaching more pregnant women.
thank you so much for the time, for the invitation.